And we are live with another episode of BS Busters. And this is the first one of the new year, so you know it's special. Um, and of course, this is, I didn't do a big end of year episode last year, because I was on vacation. And by the time I got back, I was like, man, fuck it. I don't really feel like doing anything really.
We get
So,
that sometimes.
yeah, so instead of doing that, we're gonna do a beginning of the year BS Busters, where we're gonna talk about some things that need to be talked about. Um, but before we get started, I guess we're gonna have to talk about some other things, and I mean the only way that can be done is with
Discuss
uh,
looking back at the games of 2017, what are the best and the worst?
yes, that is correct. But before we do any of that, I'm gonna let my panelist introduce himself. Go ahead, sir. Introduce yourself.
Hello, this is Piggy Don from Video Game Facts. You probably already know me from previous podcasts.
That's right. This is
The
the
past few
man with the
months
plan. This is the man with the plan. Um, and we might be joined later on by
by Jewel or Triple M.
Jewel or Triple M, maybe Dr. Feelgood. I don't know, but let's get this party started. So I guess the thing is, first we'll talk about um, let's get the bad news out the way first. The worst games for every platform that we own or played on. One game that just exemplified just bad decision making. And yes, I'm even going to include a Switch game in my list because you know what? No one is exempt from criticism. Even Nintendo. Even though
Let's,
people like to say I'm a Nintendo fanboy.
let's see. Out of the games I have in my library, the one I'm more disappointed in is Super Bomberman R.
Really?
It probably has more to do with the difficulty curve and as well as the voice acting.
All right. Well, I guess I'll say mine first. I guess I'll say mine. My disappointing game for the Switch for last year was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Edition. Um, and the game. There's nothing wrong with the game itself. I just think that it's bullshit that Nintendo would sell a 3-year-old game at full price to people. To me, that's a load of bullshit. So I was like, no, that's not cool.
And Pokemon Tournament DX comes
Pocket, yeah, like Pocket Tournament, not so much because I mean, Pocket Tournament is Namco Bandai, and Namco Bandai is like I expect Namco Bandai to do weird shit like that. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like I expect Namco Bandai to be Namco Bandai. I don't expect um Nintendo to try to fuck people over like that, and yet they did, and that bothers me because I know they're better than that, or typically they're better than that. Apparently not this time, but you get what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
it was like, nah, that's not cool, and I stand by that. I stand by that not being cool. And I know some people are going to get mad at me. They're going to be like, "How dare you?" But I stand by it. Selling someone a 3-year-old game with content, like the amount of content that they added, like that should have been in the Wii version. And if you were going to resell it, it should have been like at the most $39.99 game, not a $60 game. And I mean, I'm disappointed at Nintendo for doing it. And I'm disappointed at people who call themselves gamers spending $60 on a game that really, I mean, is overpriced at $60. So
Yeah. Yeah. But
I know some people are going to get mad. They're going to be like, how dare you? You should just accept it. No, I shouldn't just accept it.
it turns out I just have to be one of those people who bought, who took the double dip.
I couldn't do it. Like I know a lot of people were like, you just got to do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do the double dip. I couldn't do it.
And it's supposedly because I already 100% the game, the original Wii U version.
Not even that. I couldn't in good faith give Nintendo money for something that I already own for minor upgrades. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I physically could not do it. I was like, no, can't do it. And I feel okay not doing it. Like, and I'm not gonna like. I know a lot of people like, man, it was so great. I can't do it. I couldn't do it. That was my most disappointing game on the Switch last year. Was that game, because I was just like, the fact that you would sell me a game that's only got minor upgrades for $60. The fact that it's $60 was the most offensive thing, because I'm like, if it was like $39.99 or $49.99, $49.99 would have been too much, but I would have been like, okay, I understand you got to make money. But $60 for a game that's virtually identical and in some cases inferior to the Wii U version, no. And you can't say, well, they needed to make money, because I mean the Switch has been selling gangbusters. This was clearly a money grubbing move, and I understand Nintendo's a business; they got to make money. I own a business; I got to make money too. But that was just too far. That was a bridge too far for me as a gamer.
Let's see, 3DS. I don't think I got any 3DS games that have been disappointing yet from 2017.
No. I mean, I would say Pokemon Ultra, but I actually had fun with Pokemon Ultra Sun, so I didn't really have a problem with it. The PlayStation, the most disappointing game on the PlayStation. I don't have a PS4, but I borrowed my friends.
And I don't own an Xbox One either.
Yeah, the most disappointing game on the PS4 to me, and this is just my own personal opinion. I know some people will be like, well, that's just your opinion. Yes, I get it. Everyone has their opinion. Mine is might be a little bit different. The most disappointing game on the PS4 to me, and this is my own personal opinion, I don't want anyone getting mad, how dare you say this, was Final Fantasy 15.
But that game came out last year.
Really? Well,
yeah.
I played it. I played through it last year. That's what I'm saying. It was last year. Yeah. Not this year, last year.
I mean, it was released in
2016, yeah. But I played it. I beat it last year.
Since we're going to be including games that, then I'll probably say Fire Emblem Fates. In that case, then.
Yeah, that game was a little disappointing. But for me, the only reason I'm saying that it was Final Fantasy 15 is because that game was just really, really, really disappointing.
Well, I'm pretty sure many people, some people will already agree with you on that.
That game, and it was disappointing on multiple levels. It was a 10-year-old game. Originally, they promised it in 2000. Like, it was announced in 2007, and it took them 10 years to bring it out. 2017, yeah, it was last year, and it's like it's not very good. They promised the world, and what they wound up giving people was disappointing. Total garbage.
Not to mention shameless sponsorship with other gaming franchises like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, but I think that was just them desperately trying to keep that game alive. Like, please buy this game. It needs to sell.
Or adding Noctis as a guest character for Tekken 7.
Please, Jesus. Please buy this shitty game.
They've done the same thing with Lightning for Final Fantasy 13.
Yeah. Because Tetsuya Nomura keeps on trying to push that she's really popular in Japan. And I'm like, who is saying that that lightning is popular in Japan? Because I'm a Final Fantasy fan, and while I'm not Japanese, I do have a Japanese sensibility when it comes to like certain types of games, and I don't know any Japanese people that are like, man, I really love lightning. Like none.
Yeah, and there was a short-lived term of any anytime a company tries to push any of their characters, they are called a quote unquote lightning of that franchise. For example, Rosalina. She was quoted to be Nintendo's quote unquote lightning for a short while.
Yeah, but Rosalina actually has some redeeming features. Like, she's basically the god of the Mario universe or something. But I mean, like, Lightning has no personality whatsoever. She's basically a shittier version of Cloud Strife.
Of
And that's
course,
her claim to fame. That's it. She's just a shittier version of Cloud Strife. There's really nothing else going on there.
aren't a lot of the characters in 13 XPs of the Final Fantasy VII characters?
Well, I mean, there's that black guy with the bird on his head whose name I don't know. I beat that game. I still don't know that guy's name. I just know he had a bird on his head. Like, here's the problem with Final Fantasy. There's really there's no central vision, and the people that they have to take the place of the guy who used to run everything are unworthy successors. Like Tetsuya Nomura is no Nobuo Uematsu,
Right.
He's not. He's not. He's not. Like no one who they have now has the ability to hold that shit together. Because even the shitty Nobuo Uematsu Final Fantasies were still felt like Final Fantasies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Final Fantasy VII, I don't like it, but you can't say it's not a Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy X, I don't personally like it, but it's still a Final Fantasy game. Final Fantasy 15 doesn't even feel like a Final Fantasy game. It doesn't play like a Final Fantasy game.
And while on the subject of Final Fantasy, there's this user who popped up in one of our articles in VGF that said asking if Final Fantasy VII remake is coming to the Switch, and I answered no, and he said it's the only way, and he responded, "It's the only way I would ever buy a console. The footage I saw, I have to say, I am excited. The voice acting is concerning. I would prefer Japanese with subtitles."
I think
And then,
most of us would prefer that.
and then I advised him to get Xenoblade Chronicles 2 or the upcoming Project Octopath Traveler instead.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah. I mean, let me put it this way: when Nobuo Uematsu left, you're not going to get any more Final Fantasies. Like what Square Enix makes now and calls a Final Fantasy game, those aren't Final Fantasy games. They are, I don't know what the hell they are, but they aren't Final Fantasy games. Okay. And I know some people are going to get mad. How dare you say that? I love these games. They're not Final Fantasy games. I grew up playing Final Fantasy. I know Final Fantasy. This shit is not Final Fantasy.
Does that include Final Fantasy IX, which is considered to be an improvement?
Well, I mean, Nobuo Uematsu did make Final Fantasy IX, so he was
Oh,
involved with that. Yeah, he helped make that. So yeah, that's okay. He's nothing bad about that. Basically, he didn't leave until 10, until after 10. Like 10 was his last game. Well, actually, it wasn't the games that got him. It was that piece of shit, um,
the movies?
that shitty movie that no one wanted. Like, see, that's the thing that gets me. Gamers always like, man, it would be great if this was a movie. No, it wouldn't.
Yeah, the movie flopped badly.
Video games are their own medium, and they don't need to be like other mediums. Okay, never have I been playing. Never like okay. The only way you could do certain movies for certain things, like you could do a Donkey Kong movie, it would just have to be animated and be like a DreamWorks type thing. You know, like it couldn't be because you can't make a real story out of, like everyone tried to make a live action Mario game, but that didn't work. Now an animated Mario movie, you could get away with that because Mario is essentially a cartoon anyway. So
yeah.
Like that's not a major stretch in logic to have a character be cartoonish, but no one gets it.
So now we move on to the worst Xbox One game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is going to be hard because not a lot of games came out for the Xbox One, but we're going to try. This isn't really a game. This is just a 0.5 upgrade that Xbox came out with. The Xbox One X. The fact that Microsoft tried to sell a console with no games to really show why you should own that console, aside from it's the most powerful console ever, it's like, Metal Mint has made a comment. He says a live action Donkey Kong movie with a real gorilla wearing a red tie. That'd be funny. Just have the gorilla going around slapping people upside the head. That'd be hilarious. That would be a pretty fun movie. Or even better, a dude in a gorilla suit. Just a dude in a gorilla suit, a short, fat, hairy Italian guy, balding, wearing a hat. He's like, my gorilla got away. And then the gorilla beats the shit out of him and steals his girlfriend. Yeah, Donkey Kong the movie. There you go. But yeah, the Xbox One X, or from henceforth the triple Xbox, is the most disappointing thing to come out of Microsoft in the gaming because literally they tried to sell people a piece of hardware with nothing to play on it. It's like Laserdisc coming out. It's like someone coming out with a new movie format like that's even better than Blu-ray, and people are like, well, do you have anything I can play on it? Oh no, there's absolutely nothing. But it's the highest definition available. Yeah, but there's nothing that is going to utilize this. Doesn't matter. It's the most powerful. It's like you're actually there in the movie theater. You're actually there on set while they're making the movie. No. And that's what Microsoft did. And I hope the thing fails. I hope the thing fails miserably. And I'm going to be laughing my ass off when it does.
Well, everyone's expecting it to fail since Microsoft is being seen as the next Sega in terms of the console war. Like,
I'm not going to call them Sega. I'm not going to call them Sega because, Sega was in a much worse financial position than
Microsoft.
Yeah, they were way, way, way worse. But with that being said, there are some major problems, and I don't feel sorry about it. I really,
yeah.
I know some people are going to get mad. How dare you? How dare you say that? But yeah, like Sega had like much worse stuff going on than anything that we've seen, going forward. People always forget that. They're like, but I don't think they're going to be the next Sega. What I think is going to happen is that Microsoft is going to desperately attempt to put some quality games on the system, but it's not going to work because there's just,
the damage is already done.
Basically. Right. Well, I mean, because, okay, they're like, well, we're going to buy some new studios, but it takes years it takes at least a year and a half to make a decent quality game, right? A decent quality AAA game. They're just not going to be able to pull it off. I mean, they're not going to be able to pull it off. And so people are going to be like angry. upset. Some people might cuss. I don't know. But I mean, let me put it this way. If you were dumb enough to buy an Xbox One, I don't know what to say to you except it's your fault, stupid.
Well, I haven't bought one yet.
I'm not talking about you personally. Yeah. I mean you as in a general you. If someone bought an Xbox One day one, you have no right to complain about the fact that you have nothing to play. Like, you literally have nothing to say. You can't say anything. You can't be like, man, I can't believe this. It's like you don't have a leg to stand on. Okay. And I know some people are going to get mad when they hear that because, you know, they don't want to admit that, you know, they fucked up. But I mean, that's part of being an adult. Sometimes you got to admit you fucked up. And in this case, if you own an Xbox One X, you went and bought one day one. Why, I don't know, but you did. You fucked up. That's all I can say. You fucked up. You done fucked up. Because you bought a system that literally has nothing going for it. No games, nothing. Just like, their big thing is that it's the most powerful console ever. Like, no, well, what can I play on it? Don't ask about that. That's basically what they're saying. Don't ask about that. It's none of your business what you're going to play on it. It's the most powerful console. You know, that's like someone saying, this is the fastest car. This is the biggest engine ever. This is the fastest car ever. Yeah, but is there any road that I can, you know, travel on while driving this incredibly fast car? Don't ask me about that.
I think that's enough rambling from Microsoft.
Yeah. So I guess, let's see, we covered Microsoft, Sony. Is there a PC game that's failed? Well, anything off of Steam Greenlight, really, because most of those games are shit.
Oh yeah, so, like, for example, Hello Neighbor. The game was hyped since last year, I believe.
Or Black Tiger. That game's on PC. It is a steaming pile of dookie.
And it had a PS4 release.
Yeah. And Sony actually marketed that shit like it was something good. But that's neither here nor there. So I guess we should also talk best of. Oh snap. Mario Poker Nerd. How's it going, Mario Poker Nerd? 8Ball1970 says Microsoft wasted time and money making the triple Xbox. Yes, they did. I would probably say them pushing the most powerful console ever with an indie beta that runs terribly on the Xbox One X is pretty disappointing. Yeah, that's true, but this is Microsoft. Like, Microsoft is turning into, it feels like Microsoft now is becoming Sony of the PS3 era. If there's a way to fuck something up, they will find it and do it. And try White Peel. It's like a Final Fantasy game, old style. I've never heard of White Peel. What's it on, Mario Poker Nerd?
Never heard of this game either.
Yeah, I've never heard of it, so I don't know. Right now, I've been playing speaking of games that are like Final Fantasy, my best game my best of game of 2017 is a game that I'm playing right now, mostly, or kind of trying to play right now. It is Xenoblade Chronicles 2.
And mine is Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, those are two really good games. Like, Nintendo, in my opinion, released 3 games this year, all of which could have been Game of the Year. Like, it could have been Mario Odyssey. It could have been Breath of the Wild. And to me, it could have been also Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Because all 3 of these... What?
But unfortunately, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was released too late to be nominated for Game of the Year at the Video Game Awards.
I don't mean officially game of the year, like in terms of like the video game awards. I mean like game of the year, just my personal game of the year. My personal game of the year is Xenoblade Chronicles 2. It was Mario Galaxy for a long time, but then I got into this, and this just grabbed me. This totally just grabbed me. I can't stop playing this game. It's so damn good. And this game gives me vibes
like Chrono Trigger vibes.
this game gives me Chrono Trigger vibes. This game is basically a modern day Chrono Trigger, which I love because Chrono Trigger is like my favorite RPG ever. And this game is basically like a modern version of Chrono Trigger. So there you go. There you go, folks. That's my glowing endorsement. This game is basically Chrono Trigger, a modern day Chrono Trigger.
And
How you like that?
And for the 3DS, of course, it's obviously Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon for me.
The 3DS game for me was actually Ever Oasis because it felt like Secret of Mana.
Fair enough.
Because Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are good games, but really to me, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon should have been what the original Sun and Moon should have been. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's like they feel like 0.5 upgrades. It's like if you guys had just waited a year and put out this game instead of,
they've been doing that since the very first generation of Pokemon with Yellow, Crystal, Emerald.
Yeah, but Yellow added enough new stuff that it didn't feel like, well, this should have been here in the first place. Like literally, there's shit missing from Sun and Moon that should have been there, but they were just like, we got to get it out. And I don't know why, because Pokemon Company, those dudes have cash running out their ass. There was no excuse for that game to be rushed. They could have delayed it and added more content, or hell, instead of releasing another game, they could have said, hey, for those of you who have 3DS and like a gig, 2-3 gigs of extra space, you can download this for, I don't know, $10-15.
But it's out of tradition. They always save up those previous features you expect. This is what happens when you buy the vanilla version of a new generation. Because the updated releases
are so much better.
Yeah.
That's why, I mean, I hate to say this, but it's almost when you're a Pokemon fan, you almost just have to like not get it when it first comes out, and then wait about 2 years, and then they come out with the better version that fixes the problems of the previous of the vanilla version.
Yeah.
Sad but true.
Unfortunately, that didn't happen with Generation 5 and Generation 6 because instead we got sequels instead of updated re-releases, and we had
Black and White and
and the sequel.
You mean X and Y?
X and Y. We didn't get a Z, and instead we got Sun and Moon.
Yeah, and I'm going to keep it real. I actually think they were on the right track with X and Y because X and Y was easy enough to get into. The combat system was easy enough to understand. It had enough nostalgia for old people like me who, like old school style Pokemon. But it also had enough new stuff to make it easier to get into. Training wasn't a bitch like it. Training and breeding wasn't a bitch like it is in Sun and Moon. I mean, I think they really had it nailed, and they threw that all away for Sun and Moon, which is like, I don't know, man. It's like you guys don't get it, but that's okay. Because, I'm not in charge of the Pokemon Company. I don't own stock in them, so it doesn't really matter. But the best game to come out on the PS4, I don't own a PS4, but I played this game on the PS4. It was fun. Actually, I did enjoy for what it was. I enjoyed Horizon Zero Dawn. It's not a good game, but I enjoyed it for what it was. And
for me, it's got to be the Crash Bandicoot Insane trilogy.
Yeah, yeah, I tried. I played that game. I was like, Now I almost added Knack 2 on. I'm being facetious. No, really, I was joking. Really, my favorite game that was on the PS4 this year, sorry, 2017 was Persona 5. Like I played it for my PS3. Like I have it for my PS3, but it's basically the same game except the graphics aren't as pretty. But it's a really good game, and that's the only reason I didn't say it was for the PS4. I chose something else because I don't have it for the PS4 because I don't own a PS4. But definitely not Knack because that game is just garbage. But yeah, that was my for the Xbox One X. I really can't. I couldn't choose one because like most of the games that are on the Xbox One X, I also have
on PC.
Yeah, they're also on PC. So if I chose a game that was on the Xbox One X, I would like it would be something that I'm playing on PC, so it wouldn't quite be as it wouldn't be valid. So sadly, can't go with that. Can't go with that argument.
Once again, Microsoft has no real exclusives.
Yeah, they have no exclusives, so it's like I can't even really. Dragon Swords. Has anybody played Persona 5 and beat the main story? I beat it. I'm not gonna spoil the story. It's fun. It's surprisingly it's not nearly as dark as the previous Persona game, but I've noticed the Persona games have been getting slightly less dark. I mean, they're still dark, but not quite as dark as Persona 3. That game was dark as hell.
Does it have any philosophical messages that make us think as a person, like with Persona 4?
Persona 3 had that, plus at the end of the game, like your main character just sacrifices themselves to save the world. Like you don't get a happy ending. Like with each successive Persona game, the stories get slightly less depressing. The endings get slightly less depressing. So it's like they've been getting slightly better. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I understand what you mean.
Like less like, oh snap, we all had to die, which I'm happy about because, I don't like endings where I have to die. My character has to sacrifice themselves for everybody else. I find that offensive because I'm a black guy and I've seen too many films where the black guy has to sacrifice themselves.
So to some, they find that as a breath of fresh air because they're tired of seeing the hero surviving through what could have killed them in the end.
No, I mean that's why I like Get Out because the black guy lives. He lives. He lives and he kills all the white people who are doing all the foul shit. Everybody, all of them, kills all those little sons of bitches. It's great. I love that movie. Movie of the year. Get Out, movie of the year. There you go, folks. Get Out is my movie of the year. You heard it here first. Movie of 2017. And some people say it's a comedy. I don't know what the hell's so funny about it. There's nothing comedic about Get Out. That movie is a horror. That is a horror film. But that's
a horror comedy film, perhaps.
Not even comedy. There is nothing funny. There are parts of the film that are kind of funnily uncomfortable, but not like, haha, that's hilarious. They meant to make me laugh. Not like Scary Movie. Scary Movie is horrifying, funny. Parts of it. Well, not the first one. Scary Movie 2. But yeah, that's all I got to say. That's PC game of the year. The only real game I've been playing on my PC, new game, is maybe
Cuphead?
Yeah, Cuphead. That's about it. Cuphead. But Cuphead's really good though, so.
Yep.
I can't get mad at Cuphead because that's a really good game. And that game is buttery smooth. There's like no slowdown, which shows me that it has a really good coding.
So now that we covered up the worst and best of 2017, let's move on to the main subject of this podcast, which is
things we don't want to see that were big in 2017 that we don't want to see in 2018. You want to go first, and I'll just chime in because I think our lists are going to be really similar to each other.
Oh, of course, it's microtransactions. So I don't want to see more of that in 2018. So what I suspect is that the video game companies will find a way to implement loot box system, microtransactions, loot box without being called microtransactions or loot boxes. They'll just be in disguise.
Call it something else.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've already been doing that. I'm just tired of loot boxes. Like, the way I look at it is like this. If I spend $60 on a game, then I've paid what I need to pay. I should get the whole damn game. And that segues into what my number 5 is, which is I am tired of developers saying video games are really expensive to make. The cost of making video games has gone up. That's bullshit.
Nope. There was a video I watched that says otherwise.
That is bullshit that the cost of making video games has gone up. You want to know why? Because that goes against every other trend for technology in existence. You want to know? Because think about it. 20 years ago, if you wanted a home computer, you had to spend like a decent home computer with maybe 20 gigs of memory. That was high end back in the day. A high end computer back in the day cost you like $2,000. Okay, 20 years ago, $2,000. All right, with a payment plan.
Now they're cheaper.
Now you can get a decent, similar specs to back then. I mean, it's not a workstation, but I mean, decent memory, decent RAM, decent everything else. You can get it for like $500. That doesn't fly in the face of technology, because technology over time, things get cheaper because the effects, like everything gets, technology becomes more efficient. Okay?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense that, oh man, it's so expensive. No, I think you're full of shit. As a matter of fact, I know you're full of shit. So
what these companies are doing is just spending more of their time on their online focused video games, while using the excuse that video games are becoming more expensive, when really they just want to focus on online only video games because they make the most revenue.
Yeah, they just want to make more money. And listen, I'm a business person. I understand. Dragon Swords 15 says one possibility is for the release of an Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon in 2017, and a Delta in Emerald and Z. I don't know. Like, here's the thing. I don't think Nintendo is going to get rid of the 3DS anytime soon. I think they might even stretch the 3DS out to 2020.
Yeah, I mean the Game Boy wasn't discontinued until like in the early 2000s.
Well, I mean the thing is like Nintendo has no competition in their handheld space. Like zero competition, so they have no reason to spend,
to spend thousands of dollars on new hardware.
Well, millions of dollars to make a new handheld anytime soon, because they have no competition. There's like, people are like, well, tablets. Yeah, but the games you play on tablets will never compete with what you get on a dedicated handheld. Never.
Especially when pay to win games.
Well, I mean, you're just never gonna get those. Like, okay, I'm not gonna get a game like Ever Oasis on a handheld. It's just not gonna happen. I know some people are gonna be like, but it's you're not. I'm not gonna get a. Okay, Dragon Sword says he was thinking about Gen 8 Pokemon that will come out in 2019 and will be on the new 3DS instead of the regular one. I don't see them doing that, Dragon Swords. I don't see Nintendo making a new game that you can play exclusively on the new 3DS because they have too many.
It'll alienate the regular 3DS players.
Yeah, they have too many old 3DS players. And they don't want to, they don't want to mess up. They don't want to mess up. They don't want to mess up their like when 50 million of the install base of the 3DS is people who didn't upgrade, they're not going to alienate those people for the 20 million that have new 3DSs. Oh, I don't even think it's 20 million. It's like 15 million. Like they're not gonna mess that up. It's like people are like, well, Nintendo just needs to kill the 3DS and focus on the Switch. Okay, so you're gonna kill an install base that's 75 million strong for an install base that's maybe 15 million right now. Well, it'll probably be 15 million by February, March, by the end of their fiscal year. That's just stupid. And Nintendo is many things. Stupid is not one of them. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I won't be surprised if the next Nintendo Direct will announce new 3DS titles coming up this year. And that will indicate that the 3DS is still alive and well.
Well, I mean, if they put out another another Zelda game, which I mean, the rumor is that they're going to put out another Zelda game on the 3DS, which is smart because they have that engine lying around. I mean, it'd be stupid not to use it for something, you know?
Yeah, the Link Between Worlds engine.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo is not stupid. People keep on thinking that Nintendo is stupid. You do not get to own an industry and make millions and be $1 billion company and be stupid. Like, I don't know why people don't understand that. They're like, Nintendo doesn't get it. No, they get it. They just do their own thing. Nintendo is not like Nintendo does things in their own way, and they don't really care what you think about it. They're going to do it their way. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. They just, because their way has made them billions of dollars. When Nintendo has done the worst when they try to be like other people. Dragon Swords 15 asks a question. He says, will there be more Nintendo 3DS exclusives as Fire Emblem Warriors was on new Nintendo 3DS instead of the regular one? They might do that, like games that if you really want to enjoy the full features or whatever, it'll be on the new Nintendo 3DS. But like I said, man, 50 million old 3DS players versus, 15 million, maybe 10, 15 million new 3DS people. Like, they're going to go with the bigger audience because, like, you don't want to alienate.
Yeah, they bring out the most money and you don't want to alienate.
Yeah, you don't want to alienate your thing. And to be fair, I mean, let's keep it real. The 3DS is old, so they don't want to, they're not going to be doing anything really like, oh my God, this is amazing. A Spirit Tracks 2 or Minish Cap 2. I'm going to keep it real. I never really liked Spirit Tracks. I didn't like having to control that game with the stylus. I thought that was a stupid control scheme. So I actually don't want to see that. Like if they make another Legend of Zelda game, I want it to just be a Legend of Zelda game. Like I don't want a lot of weird shit. You know what I mean? I just want it.
I expect this to be its own title, its own standalone title.
Yeah. Although if they want to take the engine and redo Link's Awakening. like not Link's Awakening, kind of like how Link Between Worlds is kind of like a parallel game to A Link to the Past. Like if they do a game that's like Link's Awakening, maybe Link's Nightmare or something like that. I don't know. Like I that'd be cool, but I don't want to see.
So is the concept for Link's Nightmare is going to be more twisted versions of Zelda enemies we remembered. Zelda enemies
Could
and
be.
bosses that we remember.
Could be. That'd be cool.
It'll be on par with all the dark tones with Majora's Mask, as well as that one mini boss from Ocarina of Time.
Well, I mean, the thing is that it's always had The Legend of Zelda has always had a really dark,
Dark atmosphere.
yeah, it's always been a very dark, especially like the games have always been darker than people could believe, you know, and people never get that. Like, oh, what do you mean? It's always been really friggin' dark. And that doesn't bother me. Like, I'm not angry about, like, I'm not mad about something being dark, you know?
Yeah.
Some people are, but I'm not. I don't care. I don't care about shit being dark. Doesn't bother me. My only thing is that I just, what?
Oh, it's just that. It's just that I just remembered this. Metacritic just sent out shows their best video games of 2017 based on their Metacritic scores.
Okay.
It shows for all systems. I'll link the article on the chat right now.
All right.
There, I posted.
Metacritic.
You'll be shocked about what you'll be shocked about the comparison with the 3DS and the PS Vita.
Oh God. Console PC comparison. So PC games have the higher Metacritic score. Okay, fair enough. They're comparing the Nintendo 3DS to the Vita.
Yeah.
Really?
And look. And it shows only one game for the Vita has a Metacritic score of 75 or higher.
Yeah, I can understand that. So the best ranked game of 2017, holy shit, all three of them are Nintendo games. The top three are Nintendo games. Isn't that amazing? But I mean, to be fair, two of them are Legend of Zelda, so we'll just roll those into two. The top two are Legend of Zelda games. And then Super Mario Odyssey, and then Persona 5, then Divinity Original Sin 2, Okami HD, What Remains of Edith Finch. I still have never heard of that fucking game. Undertale, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, and Bayonetta. And technically, I mean, all of these are games that could be found on Nintendo console. Well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 10 games can be found on Nintendo consoles. Because Bayonetta can also be found on the Wii U, so I don't know, man. I don't.
Nintendo owns 6 out of 7 of this list.
Yeah, Nintendo won. In 2017 was the year of Nintendo, and no one else could really get in on that action, for lack of a better term. No one else could get in on that action, son. They couldn't hang with the king.
And Metroid Samus Returns is the highest rated 3DS game.
It's really good. I mean, I still like the original a little bit better, which is why I didn't put it in as my number one game on the 3DS, but it's pretty good.
And the highest rated PS Vita game is Hakuoki Kyoto Wins.
Are people still making games for the Vita? The Vita is still a thing? Come on, man. Just come on, man. Why are we still trying to be like, well, it's the Vita? Like, here's what came out. The best Xbox One game in 2017. What Remains of Edith Finch. and Forza 3. Like it's almost nothing else came out for that system last year. Nothing that was really like okay, except for Cuphead, but that's also on PC. So
Yeah.
they just rolled the 3DS and the Vita together. That's some bullshit right there. Okay, so here are the games that they have for it. Hakyoko Kyoto Wins from Idea Factory. I've never heard of this game. I'm gonna look up something about it. It's probably one of those weird ass Japanese RPGs that people never heard of. The remastered telling of the visual Hakoki focus on the story set in Kyoto. The young Chizuru, determined to find her father, will romance the famous samurai, the Shinsengumi. Oh, it's one of those games. Never mind. Yeah, that would be the #1 game on the Vita. Danganronpa V3, Killing Harmony. Mary Skelter Nightmares. Never heard of this fucking game. Atelier Shally Plus, Alchemist of the Dusk Sea, and A Rose in Twilight. Never heard of these fucking games. God damn it. Okay, I've heard of the Atelier series because there's like 20 of them. I originally played them when they were big things on the PS2. I like them, but they're weird now. But I don't play them now because I have other things to do. So Dragon Sword says, will future Zelda titles on handheld systems be more similar to Breath of the Wild or more on the previous handheld titles? Well, here's the thing. Everyone keeps on saying Breath of the Wild is the first Zelda to do this. No, it isn't. The first Zelda to have the open world where you can go pretty much anywhere in any order was Link Between Worlds. Like modern Legend of Zelda games. So really, Breath of the Wild took Link Between Worlds formula. So I mean, it'll probably be more like Link Between Worlds, although I hope with a little bit more structure. Because you need some structure in these games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you need some. You can't just have shit just running around anywhere like a maniac. You can't do that, man. You need to have some. You need to have something going on.
Like how you can't get through the original Legend of Zelda without a manual.
Well, there's entire things that you can miss because there's no like you don't know it's there, which is, I mean, I don't know about you, but I don't like that.
Well, it's a good thing we live in the internet age, so where we can find online guides.
I mean, I don't want to play a game and be like, man, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? I don't like that. That's not cool to me.
Though apparently some of the players said they do enjoy getting lost in a game.
Okay, let me put it this way. Getting lost to a certain point is interesting. Okay. Getting lost and having that moment where you figure it out, that's interesting. But if it's so frustrating that you're missing entire bits of gameplay, that's a problem. Like that's one of the problems with Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. There's shit that you can totally just never even see because there's like really nothing to guide you to it. There's no clever, well, if you go over here and do this and do nothing, you just got to figure it out on your own.
But then do that, those people will complain about how there's too much hand holding.
Yeah, but let me put it this way. I would rather have some curation, some guidance than none at all. You know.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you don't want to miss entire bits and pieces of gameplay. But that's neither here nor there. Let's continue on. I mean, I don't know. People are trying hard to. Metalman says people are trying hard to deny Nintendo's success in 2017. No one's really doing it because you can't really deny it. I mean, it's selling gangbusters. It's selling gangbusters everywhere. I mean, it's selling gangbusters everywhere, so I can't really, I
Oh,
can't get mad.
did you hear about the leak about a 5.0 update for the Switch?
Yeah, and I really didn't care because, who cares, I mean, I hate to say that, but I mean,
But yeah, it could be fake.
no,
The
I just don't care. Like, as long as the Switch works and it's not crashing, I'm happy. You know, unless the 5.0 update's gonna fucking add a virtual console and what they're doing for the online, which they still haven't said anything about, the motherfuckers. Um,
Uncharted
oh,
Uncharted Lost Legacy creative director Sean Escoghi. I believe I butchered his last name. He's
mm,
left Naughty Dog.
oh, that's so sad. I'm being facetious, by the way. I never look. I'm gonna keep it real.
The Uncharted series.
I never liked Uncharted. I think the best game to come out of that fucking about that entire thing was that they ever did was Crash Bandicoot, and Crash Bandicoot isn't that good. It's okay. It's not that good.
Oh, and some concept art for Breath of the Wild art book has been showing off online, and it shows a fully naked Link with no penis.
Yeah, that makes sense. Why would they spend time to give him junk? That makes no sense. Why would he need junk? I'm Link. Say it. No. I mean, let's keep it real. We've never seen Link actually get any. So what does he need? The closest he got was in Twilight Princess with Midna. I mean, it's not like he's really been doing anything since. So it makes sense that he just wouldn't be, concerned about stuff like that. I know that's terrible, but I like Link. Link's one of my favorite characters, but let's keep it real.
he's he's never gonna
Link,
get any.
well, Link is very how can I put this politely? Link, like Mario, is very
Like family
well,
friendly.
no, he's almost genderless to me.
Uh,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's like I don't want to think about Link having sex. You know,
well, tell that to the fan artists.
I know there's like there's little perv videos about Midna. There's like a little perv video game about Midna. It's kind of disgusting, but like it's. I mean, I'm just saying I don't want to think about Link having sex. I don't want to think about Mario having sex. Like everyone's like, oh man, Princess Peach, she's so hot. Really?
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
because
seeing it.
there's a very popular deviant artist who draws a really great Peach fan art, especially the lewd ones.
I guess, man. I just stay away from it because it's just too much for me. It's too much.
How's it going, Dragon Sword?
What's up, man?
Yeah, it's been a while. Doing pretty well. Yeah. Um, yeah. So I don't know what really was going on. I mean, you already, I guess, saw my question right there. Yeah, I did not see anything like that. So I mean, we'll probably talk that off live later. So, what were we talking about?
We were just talking about like how people are denying that 2017 was the year of Nintendo. Like the only reason I'm not like on top of a mountain crowing about how it's awesome is because the reason 2017 was the year of Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo had a good year. They put out some solid games. They knocked the Switch out of the park with marketing and supporting it and stuff like that. But because Sony and Microsoft didn't do shit, it's like Nintendo came to Nintendo came to an ass-kicking contest with their with their steel-toed boots on, and Sony and Microsoft cut off their own leg, and Sony just broke their feet. Like, it's like, how can we have an ass-kicking contest when no one except one contestant came here to kick ass? The rest of you just threw in the towel before the fight started.
You also have Sony fans denying that the Switch has defeated the PS4 sales-wise, because they argue that the PS4 reached 10 million units a few months shorter than the Switch.
Yeah, but
and that is some moving goalposts right there.
Well, I mean, okay. Overall, the PS4 is still, like, I think, what, 70 million units they've sold at this point. I think the Switch will probably reach that in the next 3 or 4 years, as long as Nintendo continues to provide quality software for it, because the Switch has the whole portability thing, and for some people that's a selling point. I use my Switch as a home console. Like, I don't use my Switch as a
handheld, yeah.
As a handheld. So for me, the whole handheld aspect, I'm like, man, I don't give a shit about the portability. I want a console. That's what I bought the thing for, because I wanted a console. I don't care about that. But for other people, that's a selling point. So, it is what it is. Everyone has their own,
And here's this hilarious article piece that one of our contributors found, though, and I had to ask him where he found it from, so I could show the real source. Basically, it's basically Sony fanboyism and how Nintendo should go third party and that usual stuff.
What was that?
Yeah.
It is just me just looking at the article. Like, what? No console has ever sold that much, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, we've already mentioned that the PS4 sold like 70 million units.
Yeah, I think around that range.
And here it says it's 543 million units.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding that. The Wii U, okay, the Wii U practically just single-handedly destroyed the company. Okay, that's bullshit. First of all, if one failed product can destroy your company, you have a shitty company. I'm just saying.
That.
Not to say that the Wii U was a failure. It just underperformed compared to its previous,
Yeah, system.
Yeah.
Which is sad because, I mean, like I said, it was a good. Like, here's the thing: the Wii U. Like, if the Wii U was like the PS4 or the Xbox One, I'd be like, or if it was like the Xbox One where Nintendo just like, it was just a bullshit ass console with nothing really going on for it, I'd be like, okay, I can understand people saying, well, fuck this console. But it's actually, like, they're good games for the system. Maybe not the best games, but overall very good. So, I mean, I don't understand it, but whatever.
And that's kind of the ironic part about it, because some people were saying that the Xbox One was pretty much the next Wii U, but I didn't really quite understand that, because it's like last year, I don't think Wii U had that kind of year where there was like
nothing. Like, literally nothing
yeah.
came out all year. Like, I mean, and I know there are games that came out for the Xbox last year. But if you put a gun to my head and said, tell me or I'll shoot, you just have to shoot my ass, because I couldn't tell you. I just have to put a bullet in my ass and be like, I don't know what games came out for that system last year. Like, I can tell you, okay, I know that Horizon Zero Dawn came out for the
PS4.
For the PS4 last year. I know that Uncharted came out last year. Like, they're games that I know Persona 4 came out last year. It also was on the PS3, so it wasn't exclusive. But I know that came out last year. If you put it, like I said, I don't remember shit that came out for the Xbox One last year. I know that they released a new piece of hardware where it literally, there was absolutely no reason to own that hardware. None. Like they gave no compelling reason for you to buy an Xbox One X except it's powerful. It's like that's it, motherfucker. Really? that's like someone coming up to you and saying, okay, this record player, this is a new medium for music. It's better than CDs, it's better than records, it's better than all three of those combined. Okay, what music, what medium does it use, and where can I get it? Oh, it's not for sale. We don't actually have anything to sell it that you play with it. What? No, that's the point. But really. So can I play my records and CDs on it? Yeah. Is it gonna make them sound better? Only marginally. What? and it's 100% more expensive than any other music player that's available. That makes you're not doing a good job selling this to me. You're not really selling it, and that's the problem with the Xbox One X is that Microsoft doubled down on power. They're like, well, the reason our console is selling is because of power. No, it's not. No one gives a shit. I've never seen a gamer say the reason I didn't buy this game was because the console it was on is not powerful enough. No. And if a gamer says that, they're a fucking moron. That's all I gotta tell you. They're dumb as hell. But with that being said, I guess we can talk about the what else do we have? Anything else on the agenda, gentlemen, that you want to talk about before we wrap things up?
Oh yeah, there's this old article I found in regards that was from last year's E3 in regards to ARMS. I'll post it right here in the chat box. There. It mentioned that ARMS they'll consider adding more new characters in the roster if ARMS continues its popularity even after the end of its updates. And
how can I put this kindly? I'm not like super. ARMS was never. I was never super into ARMS. I understand why people like it, but it didn't really do anything for me personally. But listen. If Nintendo wants to continue to support that system, that game, knock yourselves out. Because you spent $60 on it, you deserve to enjoy your game. And if Nintendo wants to sweeten the deal by adding a lot of extra stuff to it, that's cool too. I would like to see ARMS beat 'em up. Because that would be a fun game. Like an ARMS beat 'em up where you go through a city or multiple settings beating the shit out of random people with stretchy arm characters. That'd be cool.
That could be a spin-off for Bite and Bark, since his whole shtick is that he's programmed to take down criminals with their arms for.
They could world build that way. Like maybe you have a crime syndicate that you have these bad guys that have weird gimmicks and dudes with stretchy ass arms beat the shit out of them. That'd be cool, but ARMS as it is now just doesn't really appeal to me. It's like it's a beat 'em up with it's a arena style beat 'em up with characters beating the shit out of each other, except they got stretchy ass arms. I guess that's cool, man. To me, that doesn't really
Does Nintendo have a beat 'em up game of its own?
Well, aside from Smash Brothers, Smash Brothers is about it. I mean, I guess back in the day you had Fight or Die, but.
Well, I mean, like beat 'em ups like Final Fight or Streets of Rage.
Not really. I mean, but they don't make games like that anymore any damn way. They don't make games that like just a straight up beat 'em up. Like the closest you'll get is maybe Yakuza 1 and 2 on the Wii, or sorry, on the Wii U, but they never brought that over. Those fuckers. I would have bought it too. I would have bought that game again because I really like Yakuza, but you know, it is what it is. I'm a Yakuza fanboy. Sue me.
Oh yeah, and I should also mention last month's tier list for Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. Bayonetta, Cloud, and Diddy Kong are among the top 3 characters on the list, whereas King Dedede, Ganondorf, Zelda, and Jigglypuff are at the bottom 4.
Why Ganondorf? He hits so damn hard, it's ridiculous.
Well, it's because he's very poor. He's very poor competitively on 1-to-1 matches. He's a huge, like other heavyweights. He's a huge target for the faster characters.
Yeah, but he hits so hard, and he has such like. If you really know how to use Ganondorf, he can do area control pretty well too. I mean, he's just because he's big and slow doesn't mean he won't beat your ass.
And his moves are also pretty slow.
Yes, they are. But if you know how to use them, you can go. I mean, I'm saying this as someone who is a heavy Ganondorf user. When I play Smash Brothers competitively, like especially Smash 4 and Brawl and Melee, like I will fuck people up with Ganondorf. He's one of my favorite characters to beat people's ass with too.
Ganondorf was at his best in Melee, but it's only in the later.
When he was just the Falcon, he was just a slower Falcon clone.
Yeah, apparently so. But when he was further made into his own character in the later Smash games, he's now considered one of the worst characters.
I could see that. I mean, I personally like that they made him into his own character, because it was just making him to a shitty Falcon clone was just kind of disrespectful to the King of Evil. But that's just my own personal opinion. But that's neither here nor there. My favorite character is still Ganondorf. He's just so badass. So badass.
So I'm rather disappointed that my main Rob is a low mid tier.
You main Rob? That's
yeah.
Cool. The characters that I pretty much use in Smash Brothers are Ganondorf, Donkey Kong, Link. I'm really good with Link. Who else? I used to be good with Fox, but not anymore because they made him slower than he used to be. Because he used to be
he's still a good character according to this tier list.
Yeah, but he like the thing I liked about him back in the day was just how fast he was. Like he was insanely fast, and he's not so fast anymore.
So much so that he was a top tier character in Melee.
He was almost uncontrollable back in the day, but now he's just kind of. I like him, but he's just not.
Let's see. Apart from Rob, I also made Mewtwo and Zero Suit Samus.
Mewtwo was great in Melee. They kind of nerfed him.
No, actually, Mewtwo is a low tier in Melee.
He was great in Melee. They kind of nerfed him in.
No, it's actually they actually buff him in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS.
Really, it seems like to me, it felt like he was nerfed. His throws were his throw was nerfed. Because in Melee, when he throwed you in Melee, his throw, because he was using a psychic throw, was really, really powerful. So if you had like 60 damage and he threw you, he'd throw you insanely fast, insanely far. Whereas now his throw has been weakened a lot, so he's not nearly as, to me, as good at taking people out of the situation. Just to me, that's my own personal opinion.
Right.
Everyone's entitled to theirs. Opinions are like assholes. Everyone has at least one.
So tiers are treated as the de facto rule.
Yeah, personally, I never liked tiers. I always went by weight class. Generally speaking, heavyweights will beat lightweights. Lightweights can beat medium weights, and medium weights, if you're skilled enough, can go up against anybody. But it's based on skill, because I've seen a lot of people have made the mistake, because I've had people, man, you're playing Ganondorf, I'm going to play Kid Link. and I beat their ass. And they're like, how is this possible? I'm like, because you're playing a fucking kid. That's why. Against a grown-ass man. What do you think was going to happen?
Are you going to try facing Zero, one of the best Smash players?
Go ahead. Keep on going. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I've beaten a lot of people who have light, fast characters against Ganondorf. And people think that because Ganondorf is slow, but he's slow, but he hits so hard. And you're a lightweight character, which means I only have to get in a few hits in order to build up your damage, and then I start using my area attacks, which are really hard to dodge. And once I get to you to where you can't do a dodge roll or the shield, it's game time, because my aerial game with Ganondorf, so I can juggle people and set them up for my Warlock punch or any of his smashes. It's ridiculous. I mean, everyone thinks Ganondorf is a punk. He is not a punk. He don't mess around, son. But anything else?
Well, I think that's about it.
All right, so I guess that's the end of this video. Anything you want to pimp out?
Well, I will say that I probably won't be joining next week's Sci-Fi Power Hour because I'll be away.
All right. Then I guess it's up to me. This is Mr. Red Fox here. This is Mr. Red Fox here, and next week we'll be doing Sci-Fi Power Hour as usual, and we will also be doing talking about upcoming movies / science fiction type things that we're looking forward to. We also will be talking about pimping out the Questionathon. We'll be having a Sci-Fi Power Hour Questionathon the week after next. So, we'll be taking questions. So leave your questions in the comment section, and we'll get to them. Look forward to that. Dragon Sword, do you have anything you want to say?
I think I'll probably just say this. For those in my channel, I'm probably going to more than likely get a channel update because I haven't been making videos in like a while, and I do think I'm probably going to have to definitely do an update on that. So look forward to that, and that's about it. Yeah.
All right. Also, I'll be doing FPS Busters next week, as per usual, Sunday, 7 o'clock to 8:30, and it will be a questionathon. So leave your questions. You can ask any question you would like, as long as they aren't too personal. You can ask questions about what games I'm playing, how I feel about certain things. You can ask these questions to me or the panelists who will be available. Just leave them in the comment section of this video, and I will compile them sometime in the week and maybe print them out or copy them into the chat section so everyone can see them and answer them at their leisure. Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask in-depth questions, multi-tiered, because it's a questionathon and the program is an hour and a half. So we need your content, because, going on and on extemporaneously about things is cool, but sometimes you want a little bit more structure. Yeah, I'm going to pimp out something. If you like Chrono Trigger, get Xenoblade Chronicles X, because it's basically Chrono Trigger. It's the worthy successor to Chrono Trigger.
You're talking about the new one or the?
Sorry, not Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2. There you go.
Okay, yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles X. No, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Although I have X, so I like both of those games. But 2 is more like Chrono Trigger, I should say, and I love it. But that's just my own personal opinion. So there you go, folks. So with that being said, that's the end of this video. Stay safe. Enjoy your holidays. If you're someplace like I am, where it's cold as a witch's teat, stay warm.
It's only around 52 degrees.
it's 16 here. And normally it doesn't get colder this time of year than like 30 or 40. So yeah, I'm not in a good mood weather-wise around here, but you know, it is what it is. People say climate change isn't real. I'm like, come here, it's not supposed to be this cold during winter. But with that being said, that's just my my own little stuff. So that's the end of this video. Enjoy. Arrivederci. Have a good time. Peace out. And stay happy. Good day.